Hi, my name is Paige Helferstay. I attend University of West Alabama, and I'm currently getting my master's degree in special education. I am a special ed class based doing a signature project stage 2 on research. My research was on the impact of virtual learning on student academic achievement. My research problem and the purpose was to determine the impact of virtual learning on student academic achievement in a K through 12 setting. Virtual learning has become very common in the school systems in the recent years, especially in the past year with COVID and the pandemic, making students have to stay at home and not be able to go to class face to face. The real big question has been, how has virtual learning impacted students' academic achievement, and is it setting the students back in their learning? I know as a teacher and being in the classroom, it has been a really big question of how much it's really going to impact the students. So it made me really want to see what the research is and figure it out. So the first diagram is a histogram of grade data from 2021 of students who are virtual. It ranges from all the way to right before 40% to 100%. The average was probably about 80%, so an 80% of the grade, so they got a B. The second one is a histogram of engagement. The engagement is based on how many hours were spent being engaged virtually. So it goes from 0 hours all the way to 20 hours. The most time spent in a day was about 5 hours, which is crazy because a lot of students, in reality, we don't think that they can be engaged that long. My background investigation and population. My population is 2 second grade classes and 61 students. It is in a rural lower Alabama school, elementary school. The school is very low poverty. There's going to be 2 different groups, a virtual group and a face-to-face group. These students aren't choosing what their parents are. So I'm not choosing them, the school's not choosing them, the researcher, the teachers, nobody's choosing them, the family is, which makes it easier. Students are virtual face-to-face. This is a sample, and all of the students are going to participate, whether virtual or in person. These students will choose before the school year starts or the quarter starts. They cannot change after. So they must stay in the virtual school learning environment that they choose. They cannot change it after a full quarter. They may change it, but they have to stay in for a whole quarter, which is a full 8 to 9 weeks. My action plan continuing. My sampling method and design is a quantitative study, which is using the static group comparison design. The control group will not receive the experimental treatment. The control group is the face-to-face students, okay? And the other group is going to be the students who are virtual. It will be 8 weeks, okay? And the instrumentation is 3 major assessments. These assessments are based on standards by the state and the school district. One group will take their assessments online and one group will take it on paper. These assessments will be spread out throughout the quarter, so they have time to prepare for them. Procedure. So before the research begins, the principal will approve for the research in their school, and students will receive consent forms to be signed and returned. These will be returned before the research is able to begin. They will work on their learning based on their group, virtual or face-to-face. They will just do their normal learning, and they will take their 3 major assessments for their overall quarterly grades. Their grades will be what will be studied based on their learning environments. So I will be looking at their grades throughout the quarter, and once all 3 grades are put together, it will give their overall quarterly grades to be studied. Collaborative effort. So this will be a group effort with the research team and the teachers. The teachers will teach just how they normally do and give their tests and assignments as normal, whether it's virtual or face-to-face. The assistance will be provided to teachers if they need it from the research team. and standards that are given by the state will be followed no matter the learning environment. Like I said before, standards must stay the same. They will not be changed based on the state and the school district. The internal, external, validity. Internal is the learning environment will be assigned and selected before the quarter starts. Like I said in the beginning, the students will not be able to change it once they start until the quarter is completely over. So they have to do face-to-face or in person for a full 8 to 9 weeks. The external is it can be applied in classrooms or other schools if the impact of virtual learning is successful. If it's negative, it obviously will not be used in other places. But if it's successful, teachers will be able to use online learning, especially for if there's a day that's missed or students are sick. Ethical considerations and confidentiality. So students will participate in class as normal, no changes besides being virtual or face-to-face. They will continue taking their normal 3 major assignments for the quarter. They will also have 4 minors, but we will be looking only at the 3 major assessments. The participants will receive a consent form to be signed by their families, and they will receive a letter at home explaining the whole research and what is going to happen. Students' names will be unidentified and will be numbered, so they will not be known. Students' accommodations needs will be met, and they will take their assessments as they are supposed to. Things will not be changed. The effects on student achievement. There are several things. So this study is aiming to show that there is a negative impact of virtual learning on student academic achievement. There are 2 quotes I want to look at. So student engagement refers to students being actively involved in their learning tasks and activities, while academic achievement has consistently been regarded as an important outcome of student engagement. So in order for students to be successful in their academic achievement, they have to be engaged in their learning. It is very important, because if they're not engaged, they're not going to succeed in their student achievement. But if they are engaged virtually, they're going to succeed. So they have to be engaged and want to learn. Reflection. I chose this topic because virtual learning has become used in schools in the recent years, and it has impacted. I've had personal experience with it, and I wanted to see how well it's doing, if it's actually a negative impact or not, or if it's a positive impact. So with COVID, my school system and many other schools did virtual learning, and it did impact students. So I saw it impact them negatively and positively. I have found through my research process that virtual learning does not always have a complete negative impact on student achievement. And I truly hope to do more research to avoid the negative impact on many students and make it a positive impact for virtually and face-to-face. So whether students are virtual or face-to-face, I'd rather make it a positive impact than negative impact overall. And that is it. Thank you for watching.